welcome to the EST Hangout.
This is the EST Hangout, and today's guests are... Welcome to the EST Hangout, brought to you by Sentinel Storage. Tom Gazzola, Jasmine Sidhu, Reed Clarke in studio.
Happy birthday, Tommy!
Oh, thank you, Matthew Warnick. Yes, it's a birthday edition of the Hangout, so thank you for being here, you guys, on my birthday. The number is on the front of the screen.
Can we say the age?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Of course you can. You got to embrace.
Yeah.
But happy birthday, Tommy.
Thank you, Jasmine.
40
Happy
years.
birthday.
Yeah,
Thank you,
and
Reed.
you don't look a day over 30, okay?
Thank you. I'll
yeah,
take that.
I was like, how do you do it with your collagen? It's fabulous. Another thing is he's technically not 40 until 1 o'clock this afternoon, so he can still
True.
milk the 39.
Okay, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
Apparently, I drove my poor mother crazy on the day of my birth. I think she said that I was the longest labor of the three of us.
No way.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
you were the first,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
I believe
yeah.
the first one's the hardest.
Yeah. And she reminds me of that, I think, about once a year, roughly this time of year.
As she should.
Yeah, so it is a birthday edition of the show. Glad you guys are here. We're going to have some fun. So, yeah,
Yeah.
I don't feel any different. I don't know, Reed, you and I are around the same age.
I'm 43, and
Yeah.
my birthday was just on September 4th.
Excellent.
Right?
September babies, what up?
Yeah, September's what up, represent.
Yeah.
I don't tell you. I think it's all kind of downhill after 40, but I hate to tell you that, but it just
Okay, you can
gets,
say it.
Really?
It just gets harder every day. You're just a little sore. You
What if
know,
I do
it's
yoga?
something. Nah, you'll be fine. You're fine.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. You don't look. Honestly, you probably look like, maybe 32, 33.
I
right?
like that. I'll
Right?
take
And I
it.
think that's okay. If you kind of hang on to that, you're pretty good.
Okay,
right? So
good. I did notice a few more gray hairs, though.
That's okay.
They kind of come a little bit.
I'm a
Yeah.
little bit worried
I
about
know.
that.
That's okay.
Yeah. Mine are natural. From stress.
Yeah, you're so good.
From stress.
Yeah, but you're younger.
I know.
Stress. My goodness. Okay, we're going to have a fun
Yeah.
show. Of course, Sentinel Storage, proud sponsors. EST brought to you by Play Alberta. Great to be partnered up with them. It's been a really good relationship with Play Alberta since that began in May. First time for you in our new digs, right?
Yeah, this is the first time I've been here. Because I knew you tell me it's like, oh, there's like the paint store or whatever. I'm like, and I saw the sign up. I'm like, is that the place I haven't
Yeah.
changed it? But no, it's upstairs. It's great. The little reception area.
Yeah.
I love the merch wall too. That's a really nice touch.
That
Get
was
the branding out there right
Yeah.
away. I like that.
As
then
a guy who's very brand conscious.
Yeah. That hit me right away. It's a great space. You guys did a pretty cool job.
It's
with
very
this.
comfortable. You know, I do say this. We had a good spot at 1260, but this is more functional. It's nicer. It's still a work in progress, though. I mean, there's stuff lying around. You like our blackout?
Yeah. The cardboard's a nice
Yeah,
touch.
yeah. The old 1260.
But I like the old
sign.
1260 there.
Yeah, so
That's
we
beauty.
will get the signage going. But yeah, it's good. It's very comfortable. So I'm glad you could join us today. Of
course.
Jazzy,
Yes.
what's up? How are you?
I'm good. I think there's a lot of CFL talk that is across the nation.
Yes.
That I'm so interested in. And the reason for that is because I really respect the purists and their point of views. And I don't know, I think it's a really big day for Canada. Really.
The purists, I'm
Yeah.
glad you bring them up because we're going to get into Hangout headlines. See how I'm figuring out the technical side of the show? Brought to you by the Ranch Golf and Country Club. A few weeks left. Murray McCourt said, I think mid-October, they're going to wind things down. I mean, the weather's been really good. You can feel it at night, though. It's getting cooler for sure, and the days are shorter. But go check out the Ranch Golf and Country Club for Hangout headlines. The purists, like you bring up, I'm glad you picked up on that because they've been very vocal. Get your thoughts first, and then we'll go into what Reed has to say, too.
Sure. So I was listening live on the Lock Shop yesterday when the rules were being mentioned, and I could just see the nasty chat just going off. And I respect that because I get it. You guys are real sports fans. You don't want traditions to change. I, however, thought it was just coincidence that the Rouge was changed the day before Tom's birthday.
What a gift. Thank you, Stu Johnston. I win. Belsey texted me this morning. He's like, we won. And I'm like, yes, we did.
He had a fair point, though, and I think that's what we discussed because you and I as well do not agree with the Rouge. A fair point that, you don't want a Grey Cup determination by the Rouge.
we would be ridiculed across the board. I mean, especially in America, within Canada for sure. People who have turned on the CFL or never really got into it because there's younger generations that they've lost. I think that's fair to say. And if that scenario were to have played out, I think, or could still this year, I think would be mocked. But so Jazzy's like really, this is her first year deep diving into the CFL, and she's gone in head first. She loves it. I think.
Yeah, I go to the games. I cheer them on. I look at their stats.
Now,
right?
You do, and she doesn't have a 1970s vintage Eskimos bomber jacket like you do.
Yeah, I got a couple.
And you wear, not surprisingly.
Yeah.
So I mean, you've been a fan
Starter
of the game.
brand too. You find
Oh, that's a
That's
classic.
it.
But like that's the 90s, which is now back.
Yeah.
So that's very much in. But as I bring that up, that's just to point out that Reed, you have been a fan of the league for a very long time, and I'm sure you have some thoughts on this as well, because it's good to get both perspectives. Jazzy with the fresher eyes on the league, and then Reed with being around a lot.
I think the biggest thing for me is that I feel like there'll be the fact that statistically saying there's going to be more scoring now, right? It's going to be
the thought.
Like just under 2 touchdowns a game now, 1.7, I think it was. And someone that likes to go to games and have an excuse to cheer, I think
that's good when you're at a game.
And keep the crowd rowdy and loud and into it. I think that
You
is
don't
my
love field goals?
No, who does? Right?
Kidding.
But no, I think that was my favorite rule change. I like the fact that like they're gonna take 5 yards off each end.
Yep.
But the width is the same.
It is.
Right? Like that
still
still
12
keeps it
players.
Canadian.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Are we losing our Canadianity in this?
You know, I don't think so. I think one, you got to give props to Steve. Like he's been the commissioner for how long now? Not long, right? Like it's
Like 150 days, they said.
And I think people were dying for Randy before to try to make some adjustments and changes and try to get more of that kind of younger audience into the CFL. Like, I mean, that's no secret that when we're talking from 20 to early 30s, NFL has been so huge. It's grown in Canada with all the fantasy opportunities. And how do we get those fans back in, at games, but even like watching and caring and listening to you guys. By the way, the post-game show is unbelievable. Like I listen to that pod all the time. Like
with Jay and Maddie?
Oh,
they do a great job.
It's top notch. It's really good. I just want to say that. So I give him a lot of props. You know, like they used to say, like our balls are bigger. Like that was their whole thing. Like
until 1986.
Yeah, but I mean, he's trying stuff, right? Yeah. He's trying stuff going out there. Randy didn't do that for a long time, and like missing a whole season was a big knock. That set this league back so much, right? So are some of the changes going to irk people a little bit? Yeah, I mean, the roosting is fine. You can't win on a miss. Like be like missing like a 3 throw. It's like, but hit the rim.
Yeah, exactly.
Hit the rim.
Yes,
but
that's
like,
such a good point.
What do we get? Half points. So can we win the game?
Yeah.
So I give him props for trying on that. I think we'll see. I think there's going to be, as teams kind of figure out how to do this with the offenses. I mean, there's been a lot of talk lately about how teams in CFL are way too conservative on their offense. I mean, they're not trying it. Maybe this will give more incentives for scoring. The goalposts were always a little bit weird. Like I would be, if I was a receiver running across, I'd be looking over all the time. Be like, oh shit, I don't want to run into this thing. So that makes some sense. I'd say, this doesn't want to be like NFL light. I know you guys have mentioned that a lot. I don't think the CFL needs to be that, but I will say for the CFL, and also say this for the CBL, the Canadian Elite Basketball League, which I used to be involved with, an affiliation with the American Pro League, so whether we're talking NFL or NBA, is a good thing. Because we're in markets now, like Edmonton's not a small market, Calgary's not a small market, obviously Vancouver and Winnipeg. These are turning into big markets, and they want that kind of affiliation. I don't think they need to take over the rules, but there needs to be some sort of joint venture so you can see guys, you want to see guys who are playing at the Elks go to the Packers or go to the Seahawks, or like you want to see that kind of progression to have a tie in there. I think that's something else they need. Like this might be, first step, making some rule changes going forward. But I think that's what's going to draw people, definitely the younger fans in.
Yeah.
Because if you could start playing fantasy and you can see a guy up here and then you might transfer over, and it doesn't happen as much as it used to, or at least I felt like it used to more.
We don't.
Right?
Yeah. A lot of guys get cut and come back still.
Yeah, and that's a bit. So I would really focus on that. And then fan experience is something, they're working on. I still think it's got a long way to go on that, whether it's just the Elks or the other teams, but that has to be something, and maybe the league can do it. And then I love the idea of, I love to see Friday night football game and 3 games on Saturday.
That'd be awesome.
If you had like a trifecta, this goes down to like gambling when you're at the horses. Like if everything, hey, we love play Alberta. If you could put like a 3-game parlay on that, you could do like a morning, an afternoon, and night game. I know with TSN, it's tough because they want to get multiple games and audience. But I'd love to see that Friday night football kind of goes into like American high school football. It's a nice tie-in. And then it's almost like your college game day experience across the country.
Wall to wall. And then Sunday the NFL can.
And then Sunday's the NFL. That's great. You're not going to touch that anyway. So I think those are some things that I would think the CFL could do to actually draw the fans in. Is this a night start? It's a try. I mean, I think we'll see. But good on for doing something, man. Like this league needs. It has been a bit stagnant. You guys have mentioned that. Like it needs something to get it going, right? So
what do we call it? It's like a makeover.
Yeah, makeover.
What would you call it? A makeover?
Yeah.
This league's getting a refresh.
A little
refresh. Yeah.
It has honestly been stagnant for 40 years.
Yeah.
And there's been different commissioners who've come in, different owners, and they've tried little things here and there to some limited success, but nothing's ever really taken hold and actually made a big impact. I know with Randy Ambrosi, the CFL 2.0, that went nowhere. We have global players still. It's like you can get rid of that now. Like it's not really helping.
Yeah.
It's not making the game better. It's not broadening the TV audience to Europe and Australia and stuff like that. Like that didn't work. It was a good try, but it didn't work. Now the ownership contingent is strong. Like you got Larry Thompson and the Thompson family here, Amar Doman in BC. I mean, obviously the community-owned teams in Sask and Winnipeg, that they're having success and they've built new stadiums there. You got MLSE owning the Argos. You have, is it Bob Young with the Ticats, and then the Palado group in Montreal. Like you have, and then Ottawa's ownership group is really strong. Like this is the strongest group of owners. And we're not in an era, it feels like to me, tell me if I'm wrong, where a company threatens to pull their advertising and you're making all these changes because you're worried about losing $100,000 a year. Now it's like, okay, well, if you don't think your brand fits us, we'll move on. We can go somewhere else. Thank you very much for your business. We appreciate it. Let's proceed and handshake and agree that it's not going to work.
Yeah. Do we know how the votes were at the Board of Governors? Like, was it
unanimous?
So they all decided to do it. So,
Yeah.
I mean, they've all invested big money, like you said, and they want to try something new and see where it goes, right? I mean, if I was doing like, it's not like there's a lot of money, from my knowledge, to be made in these teams, right? Like they're doing this because they love their community, they love sports, they love the city, they want, they all have like fond memories of the CFL, what it used to be, and they want to try to bring that back. And just thinking the way it is going to get it back is probably not going to happen. So you got to take a couple of big swings. So
why not make it profitable again? I mean, you're going to have to be creative, but like you have a product that does have a fan base. You have everyone's attention.
Yeah.
It looks nice. Like why not find ways to make it profitable at some point?
So I know the argument is, people that did not watch the CFL before but love the NFL are not all of a sudden going to start watching the CFL. This is more so for like the 25 and down and like all the new fans that are going to try to.
It could be.
Well, like gambling is such a big thing in our culture, right? Amongst everybody, all age groups, especially the young people. So I feel like this possibly could help.
I think so. I mean, it'll still in its essence look like Canadian football. Wide field, 12 guys on each side, the waggle, 3 downs. Like that's
even the ball stuff.
Yeah.
Like they're not changing
like
that.
The stripes of the ball. Like it's still CFL. It's just if you were coming at it from, let's use American perspective, be like, why are the goalposts at the front? That's gone. Like I call it the silliness that still existed.
55 yard line.
The 55 yard.
Yeah.
I was a little bit thrown off by the 55 being eliminated. I didn't really get that, but then Dusty was kind of telling me that if all of a sudden the field goals, the goalposts are at the back of the end zone, that's an extra 15 yards. You say you're sitting on the 53, you're not going for it. Like you might try now. I mean, you have to have a monster leg with the goalpost being at the front. But so I kind of understand that, but at the same time, I was like, I thought that could have just stayed. But
I mean, they should be taking more chances anyways. You just get more possessions, and why are we seeing in the NFL that the offenses are taking more chances than the CFL? I don't understand that.
well, Dan Campbell loves
don't
going
understand
at it on
absurd.
first down, or fourth down, right?
Yeah, and we still see on third down a lot. No chance when you actually have more chance to get the ball back. So
Yeah.
I don't get that, but if it helps, and I mean the CFL is still a gate-driven league from my understanding on financials for all the teams. So if this helps get more bums and seats, then there you go.
Yeah.
Then that's all you're trying to do, right?
Yep.
Because you've got a pretty stable. Like I don't know where the TSN deal is. I don't know if they negotiate the next little bit. I think they might.
They're going to need to do a new one soon here.
Yeah. So who knows where that ends up? Maybe it's not the same as what it used to be. So you've got to get it's got to be more gates because the other sources of revenue, like when you're talking about food and beverage and merch and parking, are not going to get you that point.
Fair point. Well, you would know. You ran a team. You're president of the Stingers, so
Yeah.
we'll tap into that a little bit. I feel like you got something. What do you got?
Yeah, okay, so I like this one because I totally get it. C-Run in the Nasty Chat said, I enjoy the CFL because the NFL is most analysts and personalities talking for most of the game, and it feels like a very slow game. I can totally understand, especially when the two teams aren't the best teams to watch. I understand what you're saying, like Tom Brady. I can't stand him on Fox. He's a horrible announcer. His analytics are fine. That's fine. Anybody can read from a sheet. And I actually do enjoy when like Dusty's calling the game or like these other announcers are calling the game. It's more enthusiastic for sure.
Yeah.
And in the CFL.
There's the entertainment value, sincerely, is on average better than the NFL's. But like, if you get a good primetime game, listen, everybody's watching, everyone's going to talk about it. You give it its flowers because it deserves. But pretty much every CFL game, both teams have a chance. I was doing the Stamps and Lions on Saturday or Friday last week, and the Stamps were getting their asses kicked. But there was a point in the third quarter where I think they were charging down the field, and if they get one here, they're kind of still in it.
They're still in it, yeah.
Their defense couldn't hold up.
part.
Yeah, but I was like, they're not out of it yet. Whereas in the NFL, you're like, no, well, the Dolphins, their next two possessions are going to punt away, and they're going to be 3 and out, and Mike McDaniel, we're going to wait to see if he gets fired. So,
Exactly.
that element of surprise or the comeback-driven league, it's still there, and I think that hasn't been taken away. But I understand the purists, like Jazzy was saying, they find the game sacred and they want it to be protected, and I respect that, but I just think it needed a makeover. One
of my colleagues is a big Blue Bombers fan, and he's convinced that the rule change it'll go back
To what?
to the original rules because he's such a purist.
I don't think it will.
Like saying that like day one after the announcement. These are gonna
Not right away, but I think down the road in a few
Yeah.
years, like he's gonna be like, watch, it's gonna go back to the normal rules. Like he was one of the people
he
that
is staunch.
Yes.
Well, if he's an Argos
he's a little
fan.
rattled.
I mean, they should have the mindset that if it doesn't work, try something else. Like
Right.
they should be able to pivot and adapt quickly because they need to with this league to make it survive and to thrive. So if they got to change things back or add new whatever it is, that is kind of the mindset they had. And I think this new commission is at least with that kind of idea.
Yeah.
Where a lot of it is like, no, we just keep it the way it is. Don't worry, fans will come back. People will get engaged. It's like, no, dude, like that's not going to happen. You're going to have to make some changes, whatever they are, to try to engage them more. Like that's what you do in a business or any organization. Like you don't just keep it going the same way if you're not getting the results you want.
Exactly.
You got to adapt it, right?
Exactly. And that's a good point. Okay, so Nathan Rourke, who's probably going to be the MOP if he continues playing the way he has been. He's a Canadian guy, came back from the NFL last year. He calls the changes garbage. I was surprised.
He was fired
at his reaction because I thought for sure, I'm like, this is going to open up the the front of the end zone because the goalposts are gone. He hit the goalposts on Friday.
Exactly, yeah.
And it was a dead ball.
Yeah.
And so he's like, this is garbage. This is the game I love. I admire his passion.
Same.
But I would think that he would be a guy that would be like, no, this is good. I'll benefit from it. I'll take advantage. And, everything I'm going to do now is going to be even better because this makes it easier for me.
Well, I mean, the question that opens up is like, was there no players consulted?
No, sounds like there was not.
They were like, they didn't have a group of select, like,
Apparently
isn't there
not.
a player representative on every team who should be, kind of, hey, here's what, this didn't just happen, right? Like, they didn't just figure this out in a weekend, did they?
No, but
Like-
they've been working on it for a while, but they
Yeah.
kept it tight. Yeah.
And maybe to do that, you can't involve players at all, but you think there'd be some kind of level of trust, especially someone who's come back and is clearly, like, what's his contract? He's clearly invested in the league and wants to do it as a Canadian. So you don't kind of give a heads up, but maybe you can't. Like, maybe you can't because then he's going to go tell everybody else and it's going to get leaked, and then who knows, it never moves forward, right? But I mean, I would like to think from a fan perspective that you're getting some of that engagement. So when it comes out, everybody's on side, or at least can put out a statement that's like maybe not endorsing it, but supporting the idea that we need to make changes, right? Like that's what you want to hear.
A little bit of unity.
Yeah, like you don't need a pat on the bum for the guys for this. Like, oh, I love this, but just that. But
It's like we acknowledge it, don't love it all. We support it. Let's not turn this into a big thing, which it could and might with Rourke popping off, because I'm sure Stu Johnston's going to call him and be like, hey, we can talk about this. And be like, I don't want to talk. He even said, we have a commissioner who hasn't been on the job for a year, and we're making these changes without talking to the guys that actually know football. And he's like, I love football more than Stu Johnston. I'm like, oh.
But it was so like hot for him because it just happened.
Yeah.
And he just learned this, right?
Yeah.
So I think he was probably, this morning, he probably woke up and was like, dang, maybe I shouldn't have been so
I've
fired
wondered
up,
that
right?
too, yeah.
There's a text message in the inbox, 780-218-9999. As for Nathan, this is the Edmontarian. As for Nathan Rourke, he's been in the league for less than a year. He admittedly never watched the CFL before playing in it and is only a Lion because he couldn't make the NFL. Nathan Rourke is not a spokesperson for the preservation of the CFL. He needs to, I'm going to just change this wording, be quiet.
I understand that sentiment, but he will be the face of the league. He kind of already is. Because as a Canadian and a superstar in the league.
Yeah, he's from Victoria, right?
Yeah, he grew up in Ontario. Now he's back playing for the Lions. Like, he's kind of he stood on the pedestal yesterday and kind of put his foot down, which I found interesting.
Yeah, I'd be shocked if he didn't know this was coming or had kind of an idea in some respect, right? Maybe he still didn't like it. Like maybe he got brought into the conversation and was like, no, dude, like don't, just keep it as is, whatever. And they move forward. And that's why he's kind of outspoken. Like nobody listened to me. My voice wasn't heard. I get that side of things. But I mean, I'm sure even when he got appointed how many 100 days ago, whatever, this is probably like when you're sitting in the interview, like, I want to make some bold changes. I'm coming in here to refresh things. Well, what do you want to do? Well, here's a couple of things I want to do, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure that it's been outlined somewhere before,
right?
Not made public to everybody on that. But I think in those circles, it got around. I would imagine. Or there'd be a million more people, a lot more players and everything kind of spouting off about it, right? So
when there's rule changes in other leagues like the NBA, for example, like do they consult with the players?
Well, I don't know. In the NBA, like I think everything goes through LeBron, anyways. Like I don't think you make a decision in the NBA without LeBron and 20 representatives in the room.
Yeah,
right. Like I think that's just how that league works.
Yeah.
But I'm not, the NFL or CFL is obviously not the same thing.
Yeah, like even the NFL, like they talked about the tush push. I don't think the players were consulted with it, right?
Yeah.
Well, wasn't it the governors voted to keep it in, and then next year they're saying they might have to vote again and to get rid of it. Mm-hmm. The CFL does have a rules committee, and I'm just looking through who would be on it. The rules committee composed of commissioner, head coaches, players association, and officials will review and address the nuances of rules impacted by these changes in the upcoming off season. So it will be reviewed. And you heard Stu Johnson say there might have to be some little tweaks here and there, but this is the outline of the plan. And I guess to make the rule changes, you don't need to change the physical field and the game. I don't think you need the rules committee. The governors voted it unanimously, but the rules committee can have a say on it in the offseason.
Well, the committee would come forward to the board of governors with their suggestions, right? So they all meet. So there's a representative from the couple or from the players on there.
Yeah.
Right. So they're all going forward. They put that.
The PA's involved as the rules committee.
So they put that forward and then they vote on it just like any board directors would kind of do. So there had to be some sort of involvement with at least every team's kind of player representative, I would think, right?
Or there will be. At least they acknowledge there will be in the offseason.
Yeah.
So
usually you would think that would go like the committee first, sort that out, and then would go for kind of a final,
that sounds logical.
Vote. That sounds logical, but maybe that's not how this is. I don't know. Or maybe they want to get in front of it and put it out there and then kind of go back and tweak some of the things as they need it, right?
That's what this sounds like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe this is a bit of a PR move, like coming into the final stretch of the season, want to get a little more eyes on it. Here's the things kind of do. Here's the lens we're taking with this league and some of the bold actions we want to do. Maybe that's what this is. I don't know.
It could be. This is the EST Hangout. Tom Gazzola, Jasmine Sidhu, and Reed Clarke. You can text us 780-218-9999. Get into the nasty chat as well. We're talking about the CFL major changes announced yesterday. Jazzy, go ahead.
Man, I'm gonna read a message from the nasty chat, but I respect your guys' views so much, like the real diehard CFL fans. I love it.
They're very vocal right now.
I love it though. It's so refreshing.
Yeah.
Okay. Big Uke, supersized Indiana Jones, says there will be 0.75 more TDs per game, but these changes will mean 3 to 5 less field goals per game. That's a negative points difference. But yeah, sure, more scoring.
Yeah. Thank you, Big U.
Yeah.
Okay, this text comes in and says, I grew up in the UK playing and loving rugby. NFL has never grabbed my attention based on having 4 carries to gain 2.5 yards. Because if you like that, I may suggest the viewers try watching rugby. Rugby league, not rugby union. Rugby league has 13 players and 6 tackles. Very similar. CFL is unique to Canada, and we should embrace that. And that's fair. And it still will be. The essence is still there. More players, wider field, bigger end zones. The waggle's important. Being a yard off the ball, 3 downs. Like the essence of it is still there. It's just refining it. It feels like.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's going to work, right? I'm not saying it's going to get more bums in seats. It's going to get more scoring. I'm just at least commending them for trying to do something in a league that hasn't done anything in what seems like a decade.
Yeah.
So whether it's the right moves or not, I don't know. Time will tell. We'll find out. But I mean, at least the guy's he's going for it in some respect.
Bold.
That actually goes into this text in the text line from Capital C. He says, I love, capitalized love, I love the changes the CFL is making. This league has been stuck in the past for too long. They need to find ways to engage fans. These changes will help do that. My attention on the CFL has lapsed over the past few years, and I'm excited to see our new CFL in the next few years. And that's coming from an old CFL fan.
I'm with, who was that?
Capital C.
I'm with Capital C on that. Like, obviously I'm a fan of the game, cover the league. But like, to me, it is, some of these changes are necessary. They make sense. So again, they're not losing the essence of the league and the game and what it is. It's just, it's the needed change and the makeover, if you will. It'll be fine. I think it'll be fine. What I wanted to ask Reed, though, is you were talking about the running the business portion. And with, we've heard like the CFL you're not making a huge profit with these teams. You see, like, especially when the Elks and Eskimos, let's use them as an example. When they were community owned, they would put out at a event, the AGM, they'd put out their numbers, right? Yeah. Now they don't have to do that. They're a privately owned company. But like the Bombers will announce, we made 3.5 million in profit.
Yeah.
Great, but that's not a ton.
Yeah.
The Riders make a profit, and other teams don't have to put up those numbers, like I said. But now, working within this structure, the limitations of being in Canadian markets, you've experienced that on a different scale as a president of the CEBL team here. Like, what are the logistics of running a sports franchise in a Canadian market that isn't an NHL team?
Yeah, well, I mean, like I've kind of mentioned, there's only so many revenue streams, right? So they've got their media deal, so they've got a percentage in there. They've got sponsorship, they've got merch, food and beverage, parking, and then ticket sales, right? But even when we were running the Stingers, and it was obviously at a smaller scale than what the CFL is, the percentage of breakdown on revenue was still like, I mean, for us, I think it was like 70% gate. Like, it was huge, right? And I don't know if the CFL, from my understanding, I think it was still a pretty high number.
I think so.
Now, we didn't get any media dollars. Like, we had a deal with TSN where they covered production and everything, but there wasn't really any, there was a lot of in-kind stuff, but no monetary value. They're at least getting some of that, Tommy. But I would still say their gate has to be 60% plus, right? Sponsorship would probably be number 2. And then in my kind of experience, merch is basically break even, maybe make a little bit of cash. And then your food and beverage is really up to the venue you play in and decide. And I think because the city runs combo, I think there's some revenue splitting there.
Yeah.
But they don't get all of it, right?
And the parking's basically nothing.
I don't think they really get anything on the parking side. So you can't really count on those streams of revenue going up. So you're kind of down to what it's going to do to get, more sponsors, bigger sponsors, right? Bigger, large, like blue chip Canadian companies involved on that. And how do I get more bums in the seats? And a lot of the times, like, you'll say like, oh man, if we could just give these tickets to like high school football teams, get them in there. Well, 30,000 looks great. But a lot of times the venues, even if you give comp tickets away, they'll still charge you for those comp tickets. Really? So there'll be a couple dollars on each one of those, which is totally bush and shouldn't happen, because you should and you can take the hit.
Yeah.
And there'll be like a Ticketmaster charge and all that kind of stuff too. But that arrangement needs to be dealt. That's kind of on a team by team basis, depending on what you do on the stadium, right? So yeah, there's camps, but that's basically a break even, maybe, maybe make a little money, lose money on it, but it's sponsorship, ticket sales.
People buying food, going to your games. Yeah.
And the
literal
food, I don't, and I don't know their food. I haven't looked at theirs when they were communal, but I don't think it was huge. Probably I don't think it was a big deal. So those would be in the small percentages, and you'd be gate and sponsorship. They're probably like, I would say like 60% gate, maybe 25 sponsorship, and the rest, I don't know. That's if that's a lens you're looking at, whatever they can do to get more people buying tickets. And then obviously as more people come to games and get better exposure on TV and radio and everything like that, then sponsors come.
Yeah.
But you're talking about, a 6-month season where there's 10 games. And most of the people who are coming to the game, season ticket holders like you and me, it's the same 15, 20,000 people all the time. So if you're a sponsor who wants to get into it, you're like, okay, so how many people are actually seeing, let's just say my logo on the field or whatever, right? So you got the TV audience, great, but how many people are actually in the stands seeing it? And is it the same recurring number of people who see the whatever it is logo, right?
Yeah.
But it's not new. And I look at it from like a marketing standpoint. I was like, man, like, if you really want to get your message out there in a more cost-effective way to more people, you should just be buying ads on Meta or something, right? Or in Google.
Right.
Because then you can reach more people and get your brand out there. And people need to see your brand, 7 times before they actually notice it, clue in, take an action.
7?
That's a number. Maybe I'm wrong on that now. But it's something like that, right?
Yeah.
So the metrics never really work that much. Like if you're a marketer and you're looking at any of these deals from a sponsorship standpoint, you're like, well, there's a way more cost-effective way to just get our message out to more people in the city of Edmonton or Alberta or the country, whatever it is. So there has to be some kind of intrinsic value where you're like, no, but I want to do this. I want to be a sponsor. I want to be aligned with them. I want to be also associate all their community initiatives, which is, something we did at the Stingers, which was huge because now we're taking the 6-month season and going, 365 with it and doing stuff in the off season, and your brand's there, minds. And then you're still on their minds too, right? Yep. So you got to add that to it, and then there has to be some kind of cachet and for your kind of partners stuff too to be a part of it where you see that value. But I don't know, any kind of way you want to look at like the equation, like there's a whole bunch of I don't know what you want to call it, like variables and in-kind value where it's worth something to you as an organization to be a part of it. Yeah, it's really hard to put a dollar value on that part.
I have a question. What about like hypothetical? Say these changes are implemented, and all of a sudden we're seeing more highlights, and the games are, listen, they're already exciting, but all of a sudden the CFL is building up this momentum, and people are talking about it in a positive way. Are there companies, or does this happen? Maybe you know better than I do that get into the hype and are like, you know what? We're big fans of this league. We like where it's going. We like the grassroots initiatives. We just want to hop on. How do we get involved? Does that happen? Rather than I need to crunch the numbers, our accountants need to pick this thing apart, and then we'll decide if it's really worth our value.
I think if you're the commissioner going into a room with high level negotiations for league sponsors or they want to go with teams, you can say like, maybe you've heard like, hey, the CFL, it's not going anywhere. It's not taking the steps we need. And you can now prove to them like, hey, we're taking steps to try to get the game more exciting, to try to have more clips that go on social media, which is how a lot of people are watching these games anyways, right? So we're trying things. This might work, it might not work, but this is kind of the lens that we're going to take moving forward to do other things where maybe their next move is not rules focused. Maybe it's more about fan experience stuff, right? Like imagine a league, and this is crazy, I'll say it, but imagine a league that could like put mandatory like $5 beer pricing across the league, whether it's with Molson or it's Anheuser-Busch or it's a local brewery or whatever. Right. But have, be able to like an announcement like that would be like, you know what, for this coming season, we're going to have every team selling $5 beers and $3 hot dogs. We've done a deal across the board with everyone where that's like that's
actually a great idea.
That would spark so much attention. Be like, whoa, these guys are radically Canadian and trying things different. And that would get attention all over the world. Like that would be crazy buzz and would be people like talking about the CFL and want to come back. I don't know if they could ever do that, but that's, if I'm them, I'm saying, this is our mentality moving forward, and here's the kind of things that we're going to look at. Do you want to hop on board?
Right.
Where you do want to get in now, here's the price. It's probably going to go up if these things catch on, but this is our mindset.
Right.
And maybe.
The $5 beer thing across the league for like week 1 on Canada Day kickoff, and it's a Molson thing. That might actually bring some people. I'm telling you,
it's such a simple idea, but it works. Yeah. And it resonates with everybody, right? And when you're talking about $20 beer prices at an Oilers game, if you can give, it's already, a more family affordable experience, huge. But if you can give something like that and have initiative, and they've got, maybe it would have to be league-wide, but they could do it with the different beer sponsors and figure it out. Yeah. And it doesn't need to be everywhere. You just have a couple of stands that sell them in a college corner kind of idea, right?
Good point.
Right? Like you don't get too stuck in like the details of how this actually works out. Just have the offer there that you have that opportunity to do it. Maybe it's select games. I don't know. But
I think that although you're just using that as an example, I think that would actually work really well because I'm thinking Canada Day weekend kickoff, you got whatever beer partner of the league, and it's like, hey, we're doing $5 beers to celebrate A, the start of the season, B, Canada Day weekend. Have fun. Yeah. To what extent, like you said, maybe it's a kiosk or whatever. Or two.
But so I don't know if they can take that the kind of idea with rule changes and making things that to make it more. I mean, this is all supposed to be about the fans, right? This is supposed to get fan engagement, help with the experience, help you enjoy it more. So if you can start getting into those other things, I would get more excited about that kind of stuff. Because as like a natural kind of like marketer promoter kind of guy, like that's stuff that you could like, it's a simple message. You could sell it. You can get sponsors on board. Everybody gets it, right? Yeah. These rule changes are cool, but some people might not even really. They might not even get the rules in the first place.
You're right.
And those are the fans you kind of want to be into, to be like, oh, like they might even notice.
They don't
Yeah.
care if
Yeah.
the goalposts are at the front or at the back.
Yeah.
I went to the football game. How was it? Good. I had $5 beers. It was
Yeah.
a great time.
Exactly.
Weather was great. Hung out with my friends.
Yeah, have something to do,
Yeah.
right? In
Yeah.
the beautiful weather, beautiful summers. I remember I think Canadian Club was sponsoring like $8 Canadian clubs as well. People were like,
Whatever the
rushing to
offer
start,
is,
right?
like
Yeah.
just make it something
Yeah.
that people are getting enticing,
Yeah.
right? And this goes to like, what they do at the Riverhawks. Like most people don't even know the players, don't even know how the game ended. People walk out of that ballpark and they're like, hey, what happened? They win. They're like, I don't know, but I had a great time.
Totally.
I had a great time. It was pretty cool.
Absolutely.
They're doing things on
They
the
had
field all the
wrestlers
time.
fighting with the
Beer was
mascot.
okay.
Yeah.
We had the
Yeah.
big bats. We had this. It was a great time. I want to go again.
Yeah.
That's what you want, right? So, there's always kind of this sort of balance to be like, what do the real fans want in part of the game? But then what about like the other 80% of people who just want some kind of social experience? Right. That you're in the entertainment business, especially like, there's when we're talking like the NFL or the NHL or the NBA, they're still open to make all these tweaks all the time. And those are the top tier leagues that like should be kind of sacred and don't want to make changes, but they're doing it.
Well, look at the NFL. How many changes have they made in the last?
Lot with youth football to get them there. But the good thing with it is like how many kids are on a youth football team? Like when we start looking at the numbers, you're giving those away if you can get that value back. Like you're knocking off 40 at a time. When we would do it for like basketball teams, we're talking like 10 and maybe some parents would come too. But if you're just thinking about, man, if we can get it to this many teams, well, you've got an extra right away. You got an extra 500 fans.
Yeah.
Show them to the game. And with the crowd size they're having there, that's a big number. And you do that a couple times more, like you should get there, right? So
Yeah.
It's like such an easy day rather than planning for, and obviously, we're an Oilers city, but rather than planning to go to an Oilers game with your kids or your family or your friends, whatever have you, that is like, oh, I got to think about it. I got a budget and then parking and then da-da-da-da-da-da. I feel like with CFL, and this is from personal experience, if I'm ever like, hey guys, let's go, it's like, boom, it's so easy. It's grab the tickets. They're, they're not too bad and let's head out, right? With like the Oilers experience, it really think if you want to go to that game or not, right? And then where do you want to, and budget, because I'm a lower bowl girly on top of that. Right?
No upper deck for Jazz.
No.
Yeah.
Unless they're free.
But even those aren't cheap.
No, they're not.
At the game the other night, I ran into my buddy and his wife and their kids, and he's like, "We got the tickets for free because his friend had some extra ones," and he goes, I can't believe how much I'm paying for everything else. Like,
Exactly.
This is insane.
Like for the preseason tickets,
For
a bunch
preseason.
of like those.
you
it's-
got standards.
Yeah, exactly.
I got
Hey,
Honey,
we're
I
talking
got,
bottle service here.
I got time to watch other things. Okay, I'm not watching preseason. No offense, but
You didn't miss much.
Yeah, but I love that for you.
Or Sunday, yeah.
Because I think, oh yeah, but like you're still going out. Like if I were to go with my friend that day, I would have, I would have bought a beer. It would have been an expensive night off the bat. Whereas a CFL game, you really don't have to think much other than the lineups.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the lineups,
Depends. The games have been pretty good. It's the concerts that have been pretty wild.
the concerts, yeah.
Yeah. But that's just a Commonwealth problem, not a CFL problem.
Speaking of which, let's go and mention that portions of this hour are brought to you by the Hive Product Marketing. Check them out, the productmarketing.com.
It's buffering.
It's buffering.
Oh, there it's back.
There you go. Your phone's buffering. They do all of our merch. Check them out. They are excellent. Speaking of Commonwealth,
No, they said mustard.
mustard. What mustard?
Remember how we do muster point when there's an issue?
I don't know. Looks
Yeah,
like
so it's so cute.
It's fine.
Sorry, and then I'll tell you this muster point thing.
Yeah. Okay. Stadium. What is the solution to the stadium thing? I don't want to get you too implicated, but potentially with your future. But about the same. You talk about the concerts and it gets packed. They say it's too big for CFL. When Larry Thompson and the family bought it, it was like, what do you do with the stadium? Now there has to be infrastructure to change the goalposts. Every team's going to need new field turf.
Do you know the cost of that, by the way? I couldn't find it.
5 to 10 million
Okay.
for the new turf.
Okay.
Every time you do new turf. Yeah. I think so.
You would have to have a whole new layout. You could still work with what you got in your bones, right? I think there needs to be like velvet rope and stuff like that too to like get, like organized. Like things like that can help.
Velvet rope.
I don't know why Velvet Rope
Like
came to my mind.
VIP service.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
VIP
sorry.
service.
It's so conditioned.
It's always needed. It's always needed. I
The
get it.
airport one there, the airport, like, you know, those where there, like to like maybe get the lineups.
Those the stanchions or whatever.
Sure. And then people can walk behind, and because it is a crazy place.
I think the question becomes like, is it too big for CFL games? Like, obviously it is, right? That's we don't have to have that debate. But in the city right now, we've got this stadium that, I mean, is it the largest outdoor stadium in Canada?
Yeah.
Like, and so when it attracts things like the concerts we've been having lately, and this year they've got more than I've seen in a lot of years.
Yeah.
That's a huge benefit for the city from an economic driver. You see it, like just with Morgan playing was the 2 shows that were sold out, 120,000 people or something came.
Right.
And if you were downtown, and I'm sure you were, Tommy, you saw the people from all over.
It was busy.
There. It was everyone's wearing, all their chaps and stuff.
Yeah. Yes, they were.
Which is cool.
Yes, I didn't mind it at all.
So like you've got that. So like the answer can't be like get rid of Commonwealth, right? Because Calgary's not going to have that. And that's kind of your point of difference. And Edmonton has some of those like point of differences that we need to maintain. But there needs to be some tweaks on it.
Yeah.
Like it's when it is full like that, as everyone knows, you can't move around that place.
True.
You can't go to the washroom. You can't get a beer or anything. Infrastructure doesn't really work on there. So there has to be some tweaks. And kind of what I've heard, there's actually quite a bit of room. Like if on those 2, next to kind of like the main concourse where you tuck in there.
Yeah.
Maybe that can get expanded, right? And the other side, because it's pretty deep once you go in either part.
What they expanded for the 2001 track and field championship.
Totally, yeah. And maybe that can be done a bit. I also heard some things about when we talk about turf, and everyone talks about is it grass or is it just synthetic turf? But there's actually a blend. And a lot of the teams in like Italy soccer for Serie A use that blend. And teams will play, like high level soccer teams will play on that blend and actually prefer it over real grass. So if that's something that maybe they could put in, and then we could get some exhibition soccer games from high level teams,
right?
Then you can get that utilized more where they have nothing to do in the summer months where we have that stadium there and we have the weather and the opportunity. Like, I think if it's utilized even more, that's something we got to push for, right?
Fair point.
How you get it down to like a cozy, tight, comfortable, where you feel like you're on top of the game and everything for the CFL is I don't know if I have that answer. That's a tough one in that stadium.
You'd have to almost tear down the current stadium and rebuild it on the same footprint.
Yeah, which is
that'd be super expensive.
That's super expensive. You might as well, you could build a new outdoor stadium for 35,000 people, for not a crazy amount of money in respects to that, right? So I think they got to look at all the options there. But for me, it would be it'd be a shame to not have Commonwealth.
Agreed.
Especially with the field house and the LRT there and where it is in the city and everything. It makes a lot of sense.
That area is changing in a good way.
Mm-hmm.
Like the southwest portion, there's some rough spots, sure.
Yeah.
Once you go beyond the church.
That's Edmonton.
That's true. Like these are issues that we have to tackle as a community, and otherwise you just brush them under the rug, and that's not good. But the east side of it, the stadium yards, the new LRT that you talked about, there's developments there that you're like, this is good. This is bringing a buzz and some vibrancy back to that area that had a tough go over the last couple of decades. If, like you said, Reed, if you want to reimagine Commonwealth, and you see it with older stadiums where they upgrade them, you look at Lambeau Field, there's one like the original stadium, it's still there, but like they've redone everything around it. Like if you tear down the expansions from 2001 and you
Thank you.
Oh, you guys are too kind.
Blow the candles, no girlfriends. Oh!
Thank you.
Have a cake. What a cake. Look at that.
We got some plates.
Okay,
That's legit. Italian center. That's legit.
Italian Center.
You know it's good. Oh my goodness. Thank you guys. That's amazing.
I hope you made a wish.
No, I didn't. I
Okay,
was
make
too
one
caught in the
now.
moment.
I know.
Okay, this might be a good
Just
time.
yelling at
All
you.
right. Normally I bring like merch and everything for
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
You
yeah.
kind of text me like I didn't have time to get to a shop. and
No,
do it.
no, no.
So
What do you got?
I got. You love like old kind of vintage stuff.
Yes.
I love, at about 1 a.m, scrolling through eBay or Facebook Marketplace and finding things like that.
What did you find?
And usually, you actually like eBay easy because you can kind of just order it and then it ships here. The Marketplace stuff is like, and I got to find the guy. We got to work out a time to meet. It gets tougher.
Right.
So I got a couple random things for
Take
you.
a picture. Let me take a picture of it.
So one Tommy is it's an old school Crown Royal Oilers bag.
Nice.
So that's kind of the
Nice.
package it comes in.
Yeah.
So I think you'll appreciate this.
We also have like your mom dropped off a bunch of candy.
My mom did?
So there's a bunch of stuff from your mom over there too. So,
Wow, okay.
Yeah, we got fruit trays, we got meat trays, we got cheese trays. So
She had a bunch of stuff delivered. Look.
What is going
All
on here?
from Miss Eva. Isn't that so beautiful?
More over there.
Yeah.
Holy
You guys want
smokes.
to that, like,
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow,
See?
Only
okay.
the best
You guys
stuff.
wanna
Only the
jump
best
in.
stuff.
Yeah, she really wanted to make sure your birthday was special since,
This is a big deal.
Yeah.
This is a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm blown away. Thank
Yeah.
you, Mom. She's in Europe right now.
Yeah, that's
so
why.
jeez. Okay, we're gonna eat really well today.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For sure.
We'll,
Yeah.
we'll do okay.
Yeah.
We'll do okay.
Yeah, this is unreal.
Okay,
Thank
let
you.
me.
Okay, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so
Okay,
here's the
so-
random stuff I got for
Yeah.
you. Okay, so one you've got you McDavid edition BioSteel unopened
Excellent. So that's a
thing.
collector's
collector's item
Yeah,
because I
okay.
don't know if the company's even around anymore. He was a spokesperson, so this is limited edition.
Okay,
and
we're holding on to
there you
that
go. So
one.
you got that guy,
Okay.
right? I found that. You remember the old Orange Crush rally
yes.
towel that
Yep.
the Oilers had
Wow.
when they did I don't know, that would be 20, was that
was a
17?
long-
2017.
I think
yeah.
2017. They tried to do this whole Orange Crush thing and they had the jerseys and
I'm
everyone
surprised
did
they
it.
didn't
Yeah.
snag one of those back then. They
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
just
So
left it.
I always keep all. They always put the towels.
Yeah.
I keep them all. I don't. They're just in the bags. I don't know what the.
They're
love
great
it.
to like clean
But
your
they're-
tires and
they're
stuff
great,
with,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
Clean your shoes.
Yeah,
Collector's
yeah.
item.
Yeah, very good on that. So you got one of those. Okay, so I found this on eBay. So I haven't even played it yet, but it's a record. So if you guys,
Okay.
there used to be things called record players, and this
Vinyl.
one, this is Royalty Records, but it's a Go Gretzky Go song. I
What?
can't. Yeah, I haven't even listened to it yet, but it's from 1981, as the sheet says. I don't know if you guys could ever take a listen on this. This could be a nice tune that gets turned into one
I
of the
have to
shows.
see this.
But it's as vintage as it gets, and pretty cool.
That is really cool.
Go Oilers go. Edward J. Codier. 253 is the song length. 1981, yeah. And R. Harlan Smith and the Royalty Singers.
There you go. There's a few like random records that are like Go Oilers kind of like
Who makes
chant
this?
theme songs from back in the day. And
Yeah.
I tried to get one before the playoffs. I was
Wow.
getting dropped off you guys, and then somebody snagged it before I did. Okay, this is a Nolan Ryan Christmas ornament.
Look at that leg.
And look at that
A
leg
high
kick. Nolan Ryan, we hate you. We love you as a ball player, but we hate you because you stole our Edmonton
The Trappers, yeah.
So this really should go in the garbage, but it could be a nice thing, and maybe it goes into the cake or something,
yeah.
right?
I like that.
That could be a nice
Put that
touch.
on display there. Oh, Nolan, right? He what did he turn 80 recently? I think. Remember when he beat up Robin Ventura?
Yeah, that's the best clip that
Yeah.
you'll find.
Yeah.
And then I did get, if you know Youppi.
I know Youppi.
Youppi is the mascot for now the Montreal Canadiens.
Yeah.
But he was the mascot for the Expos.
The Expos, yeah.
So I bought a bunch of these little Youppi like doll characters. I don't know.
They'll sell anything.
But they're awesome. And the best of Youppi is like on the back of his jersey is just an exclamation mark, which is I think kind of a nice touch. So you got
like
a
it.
dancing Youppi right there.
This is very thoughtful.
Yeah, very thoughtful. I thought about this. And then last but not least is a 1996 Edmonton Trappers team card.
PCL champions, by the way.
PCL champions.
That's right.
This is also, I think, the year after they opened up Telus Field,
Right.
the new ballpark, which the Riverhawks still play in. So you've got one of these limited edition 1996
Let me see
full squad.
if I can name some of these guys.
Yeah, there's no names on the back. There's sponsors.
Okay. Because like
Intel.
this would have been the Scott Spezio, AJ Hinch.
Yeah, Giambi would have made an appearance.
He would have been around there.
Yeah. It all depends on when they would have took that picture because guys obviously coming in and out of the lineup, coming
Matt
for
Stairs.
20 games.
Yep.
Yeah.
Remember their catcher was Izzy Molina?
Yeah, I do remember that.
That is awesome. What else you got?
That's it. That's
that's great.
And you got the
And the
Crown
Crown
Royal.
Royal. Well, thank you,
I don't
Reed.
know.
That
They
is
maybe still make. Maybe they don't. But
I don't know, but that is and
that's
it's
a nice little. Yeah,
velvety,
that's a good.
very
bell
nice.
pouch.
Oh,
Put
wow.
great haul.
your coins and everything in there.
I
so
love
there's
that.
Your,
Thank you, thank
getting
you. That's very,
spoiled.
very
Oh,
thoughtful.
I will go get you some City Champs up there. We're
What-
working on that. Just
What is happening with City of Champs right now?
it's going. We're just both myself and Sean, who's my business partner on it. We're just both a little busy doing some other things.
Yeah, we'll get to your other things.
Yeah,
in a bit.
but don't worry, we got some things in the works, and we got New Jersey. We want to do. It's just it's hard. Our jersey supplier is same guy who actually makes the jerseys for the Japanese league. So they're great. The stitching, the quality is awesome. We're just trying to find exactly the right one, and we're kicking around. Do we go to like the 03, 04 kind of version, or do we do a bit of a hybrid one? So
Okay, I have the Trappers, like the 96 era black ones.
yeah.
You hooked
Yeah.
me up with one of those. I got to do the photos. That was a lot of fun. I loved
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you for
yeah.
including me.
Yeah.
At Riverhawks games this year, I saw a lot of Trappers merch, and it was the City of Champs stuff.
Yeah.
So it must have done well, and because people ask me about where I got it, and I'm like, City of Champs, go there.
It's crazy because I mean, when they haven't played here in 25 years,
Yeah.
I think it's something like that. But it's amazing to see because I've been doing it whether it's City Champs or the Ross Flats before, and every time we just put out Trapper stuff, it just goes. It just keeps going. Like the appetite for people in this city and around Alberta and Canada and even some of the states we get orders.
Yep.
Just I'm actually kind of like floored by how much people just love. They love the brand, they love the logo, they love the team, and they just kind of want more of it. Like, and even to see like, okay, so 35 plus who kind of have an experience with the Trappers, cool. I get that nostalgia, but then there's like kids who just want to rock it, right?
Yeah.
They love like the black and teal from the 90s. They like some of the 80s stuff with the California Angels colors. But yeah, I don't know. People can't get enough Trapper stuff, so we just got to keep making more of it and spend the time to do it.
I want a Trappers jersey so bad.
all right.
I
know
want
a guy.
I
Yeah,
know.
yeah. Yeah,
I
we'll get you
literally want one so bad. They're so nice, and like I travel a lot, and sometimes it gets old wearing like the other kind of
Yeah.
sports teams,
Yeah.
and I want to like represent the. And baseball jerseys are hot.
You should.
Yeah.
You should be
Yeah.
wearing a Trappers jersey if you're going
Yeah.
to a ball game in another city.
Right?
It's a great look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great look, especially if there's a tie-in too. If you're going to like an Angels game or
That's
going to a
right.
Twins game, or there's a player or something, it's pretty cool.
Right. Well, I plan to go to like an away game for the Blue Jays. So
You would look good in a Trappers
I
setup.
know.
You know a guy, obviously,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we'll have a discussion.
We'll get you
then.
guys hooked up.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
I actually had a question for you because
Mm-hmm.
you had the minor league baseball logo. Was it on the hat, or it was like the hologram sticker was on it?
Yeah.
Did you have do you have to talk to someone at New Era to get that
No,
done?
we do a couple different versions. We can make hats ourselves. We can make jersey ourselves, whatever. But you can also do. New Era still has the design in their files,
Right.
So you can still contact New Era as long as you have a licensing agreement with them.
Yeah.
To get the New Era hats, and they actually have. So we've done a few runs of those, and they've done really well. And they can still mix up some of the colors and things too. And I was actually surprised how many they had still in their kind of catalog.
That's cool.
In their back end catalog. So we've been dipping into those and changing a few of them. I really want to get. I did it a while ago, but there's the back catcher Trappers logo. It was really more from the 80s, but then they had it in the 90s. But there's a teal version.
Yes.
And that one
That
to
one's
me
sick.
because it combines both like the old school Trappers and the 90s Trappers that people love. So yeah, there's one of those coming for sure.
I just noticed that the MILB logo. I was like, oh wow, okay, how does that come to be?
Yeah,
So I was
that
curious.
came with the New Era deal. So,
Okay, and that New Era, the one you did with the black and white catcher logo.
Yeah.
that's the hat.
That was a
that's my
custom
go-to.
one that we kind of switched out
Yeah.
with them still on a New Era snapback.
I wear
so
that
they
one
can
all
still
the
make
time.
those changes and do it.
Yeah,
So
I love that one.
Yeah.
Last question about merch. How did the collaboration go with the Oilers on the '80s softball jerseys?
yeah, amazing. So we did. We found these old pictures. It was like Gretzky and Messier, and they used to do this slow pitch game in September, I think, every year at John Ducey Park. And we found those images. And I think even one of the last times I was on, like someone sent us a whole bunch of photos.
Perry Nelson.
Yeah. He said
Yeah.
like, so they're classic ones. So we took that to OEG and just said, hey, we'd love to bring this back. We're a local company. We're all about retro and vintage items. Can we do this? Can we get it in time for the playoffs? And they were like, absolutely. We love this idea. They really want to do more collabs, especially with local businesses, selling it at the Ice District Authentic store and in the arena. So we did all these old school baseball jerseys and then a trucker style hat to kind of match it.
Yep.
We got Gene Principe to be our model for it. He was amazing. We took some photos up at the brew house on top of their batting cages. And they sold out in a couple of weeks. I think they told us it was probably one of their fastest selling collabs they've ever done.
I saw people wearing it like the day after the release, like walking around downtown.
It was gone, and they were selling them in the arena. And I was like going to a couple of the games, and I'd always be like, "Oh, let me go check on the merch."
Yeah.
And they were gone, and they had a few sizes left. The hats blew right away.
Yeah.
And the jerseys would, and we put them at working with them. We got them at I think very manageable price points. Like you guys last night were talking about the jersey prices and $600, whatever.
It's insane.
This
that's another topic.
This was, I think they were retailing for like 120, 130 or something.
That's a bargain these days.
Which is great.
Exactly.
So we were able to kind of, make sure they got their margins, we got our margins and work on that on the back end. And the hats were kind of a manageable price too. So I know they want to do something coming up and we've got some ideas.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
If anyone's got any other ideas that kind of tie into that, I mean, the Oilers baseball one made sense for everything that we do with the Trappers and other teams, but there's some other ones. There's some old jerseys that, might be cool to bring back. Maybe some WHA kind of style ones.
That I have a lot of time for.
Yeah. When you go kind of through, and you could find this online, but you almost have to get to like the old team booklets and cards and things to find those ones, or go through like, we've got like a newspaper.com subscription and you go through like the old newspaper, the ads and the things and find those photos and then try to recreate those. Right.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
I'm a geek for that stuff. Obviously you've known me through the years. Jazzy, what you got?
Well, I love collabs. They're my favorite sort of collections. So that's unreal. There is some breaking news.
Okay.
Right on Tommy's birthday. Paul Cozen. 3-year contract extension with an AAV of 2.95 mil.
That's very reasonable.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah.
There's
on
a
Tom's
good.
birthday. Yeah.
Happy birthday. That is
It's your guy.
it's a good bottom six player, and that's good. They want to keep him around, fits in well. So that's a good, reasonable contract.
Yeah. I think everybody's happy about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The chat was bumping.
Okay. Well, then, good. We'll transition over to Oilers as we head into hour number 2 of the EST Hangout presented by Sentinel Storage. Portions of this hour brought to you by the Finnish long drink, pride of 1952, the Olympics in Helsinki. You can get the long drink, I believe, at Rogers Place now, and liquor stores in the Ice District, they have it. Becoming very, very popular. It's delicious, refreshing. My first taste of the long drink was in Helsinki in 2012.
Okay.
And it's really good. So we'll slide that over there. Let's talk a little bit of Oilers. And since we'll start with this because we're talking about merchandise and uniforms, stuff like that. I haven't asked both of you actually about the new third jersey. Go ahead.
Let's go with Reed.
Oh, I thought you want to jump on.
Oh,
but
I
okay.
will. I will.
Okay.
Where do I start on it? I like the script on the oil. Like I think that's cool. I like the colors. I like that cream,
Vintage.
Yeah, and that it's almost like they were for the Heritage Classic a couple years ago. It was a similar type of thing. I didn't love that jersey, but I did love the throw to the Mercuries in that jersey. So I think it's a good try. I don't know if it hits everything for me. I feel like I want more out of it. And maybe I want something more than just the script. And the script doesn't really you might have just found that on like Canva or something. I don't know if there is a story behind that font, right? And that's where I would love to see it. It's like, hey, we did this because this
has
ties
a deeper meaning.
To it. I haven't seen that detail kind of outlined yet. It's just like, hey, here's something that's cool and we want to do that script. And this goes back to a little bit of a vintage play. And I love when teams do that sort of like script style, whether it's just one letter of a logo or it is in the full kind of word mark. But I don't know if I've kind of heard the story on that. So I get the idea. I don't think the execution on it is, I love it exactly. But they had to do something that was different. They couldn't really go back. They've done a whole bunch of different versions of logos and things. And I know,
I'm glad you pointed that out.
yeah, with the oil drop, I know with the Oilers and the oil drop, like there's been a bunch of things where like if you go back to the old days, you could kind of reverse the colors where it's like a blue oil drop instead of the orange one, right? But I don't think they really wanted to do that for whatever reason. So this was something I think got mocked up and went with it. But yeah, it's okay. That's honestly, I don't really have like I love it or hate it. I think it's okay, but. Yeah, I mean, it looks like someone just kind of made it and they thought it was cool.
I appreciate it's different. What do you think, Jazzy?
Can I come in spicy? Is that okay?
Of course.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Ooh.
At first, I was bored. Now I just don't like it. They put it on the players. I think I saw a picture of Ekholm wearing it, and
Yeah.
because I wanted to see what the players wear with the blue helmet.
Yeah.
I still didn't like it. I was bored, and it did nothing for me. As you mentioned, I don't like the font of the Oilers in the front. I think as far as the color combo, it's not bad, like that kind of creamy white, but it's that logo that does it for me. I just don't. I don't like it. It could have been either more or it could have been different. It was boring. And for 800, what was it? Dust said 860.
Oh, that if you wanted
Those are
like a
that,
vintage
yeah.
or no, an authentic McDavid jersey, it was like $700.
In this economy?
Yeah. Well, you can get a Evan Bouchard for like $350, $400.
Like the script I like more for when the Oilers is written out is if you see it on hats, like sometimes the old school like starter hats. If you remember in like when they did like NBA draft or NFL draft, they had those hats that they put on and it was that kind of like script. And I know they did for NHL too. If you were going to throw back to that and the oil and there's a little loop around the O or something that had a tie in, right? I just don't know where this one.
This
I
is
just don't know where it
something
comes
new.
from, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they did that video when they released it, and it's built on sweat. I think something to do with, this is a hardworking community.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
And like, I appreciate that. So I think that's the only like story tie-in there. But you did say like, I'm glad they didn't go back to the old logo or the oil derrick guy. Try something different, They're tied to this jersey for a couple of years, and then they'll move on to something else, and maybe they'll learn from the feedback that they get on this. You can't please everybody. I've learned that.
What did you think
That's
about
for
it
sure.
now that you
I
see
like it that because it's different.
Yeah.
I like that they've tried to step outside of the Oilers box and go back to the well again, for a lack of a better term and bad pun. Like, I don't like the idea of bringing back. Why don't they bring back this? Why don't they bring back that? Reed said it. They brought back looks already a couple of times. 2 reverse retros.
Yeah.
Right? The 90s. I have, when I was a kid, I got those 90s jerseys when they went to the midnight blue and the copper.
Yeah, I've got those. Yeah.
I have a
Love
couple of
those.
those.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think that the style now, I think that was a very dated look.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And because it does bring back memories for some people, that's great, but I wouldn't go back to it. Plus, aren't you trying to sell new stuff to people and not stuff that they already have?
Fair.
And they've already kind of done that. So I get it. I don't know. I just think it's good that they're trying something different. So I stand by that.
I actually think that's a fair point. Totally.
Yeah.
Just wish the front. It's the only thing I wish just a little
Guess what? They'll get another new alternate jersey in 3 or 4 years,
Yeah.
and people will tear that apart, but they might like it more.
Yeah.
They might buy more of it. I feel like this stuff will sell just because it's new. And I wonder, too, now with logos and branding, if, yes, having the players wear them is one thing, but having the idea in mind that, this word mark and script is going to sell well on merchandise, and that becomes more of a priority than the actual players on the ice wearing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I haven't seen it, but I'm sure there's a whole like merch plan about this that goes
think
into
so.
hats, into t-shirts, into whatever. Like I think it look really good on like a bomber jacket.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
What about a baseball jersey with that word mark?
It could be good on that, right?
Yes.
So I'm gonna say, but if the script is going to be your highlight, I need more in that story what that script's about, and you got to tie it into something. And maybe it's not going back 20 years to find something that was based on it, but it's like we did it this way because
Give it meaning.
Yeah, it's not just a font I found on Canva that looked really good and we threw it on there, which is what it kind of
Okay.
feels like to me, right?
Right.
So yeah, that's it.
Yeah, create the story. I get that. I respect that very much. And I'm learning more about Canva. It's a very popular program, is it not?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's very popular. Yeah.
I have one more thing to add before we dive into the Oilers stuff. CJ in Chicago actually reached out to me. She was sending me a note. She's like, I like this jersey. She's like, I feel like it appeals more to women like the women's fans of the Oilers, female fans of the Oilers. Use your words, Tom.
Yeah.
Because of the look. And I was like, really? Like, okay. But do you get that sense
I do, because I think Ashley, which is one of our, sorry about the Ravens last night, Ashley, I think she is another nasty of ours that really liked it as well. And I guess I could see that, it not being so butchy, that a woman can wear it. And maybe that's when I'm talking quote unquote boring, perhaps it's just you can dress it up more with things and it's not too bulky.
Yeah.
Because sometimes even when you have the big emblem, it is kind of bulky and it is hard to tuck it in your, your jeans or your skirt or whatever. So yeah.
Maybe they inadvertently created something that appeals to women more, but.
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, I just think when you go to games, everybody's rocking a vintage bomber jacket or a sweater or a t-shirt, which you used to be able to find for $20. Now they're $80 for some of these old Oilers t-shirts, right?
Yeah.
But there's definitely and you see that going around, whether it's the younger fans are there or kind of middle-aged ones doing it too. So I think if you see that trend going along, and even with Lauren McDavid, her stuff is kind of like that, right? So you see that, you could have jumped on that a little bit and kind of did your own version of it,
right?
That had a tie-in. And I'm just a sucker for vintage stuff. Even my sweatshirt here, this Clark's thing is my great grandfather's old
high school
grocery store. Right.
Really?
So I love that appeal and some kind of tie-in.
Yeah.
Whether it's as small as one thing or not, but that's my take on it. There could have been a story
the deeper
to tell
meaning.
Instead of just we're hardworking, we're riggers. That's cool, but there had to be something else to throw on there.
I understand wholeheartedly. Big Maple says Edmonton Grads throwback coming soon.
Matt, so I did a trip.
Do you own that patent too?
No one does. No one does.
Okay.
The Grads is open. But I went to the Edmonton archives, and probably nobody knows where this is, but it's kind of behind Kingsman Pitch and Putt. There's a road up there and it's a giant building. It actually used to be a brewery. It used to be, I think, Carling O'Keefe's before Molson took it over.
Really?
Anyway, so they have archives in there. So I did a tour, and it was an Edmonton Grads tour where we hopped on an old school ETS bus, and they took us to a bunch of places for the grads, which I didn't know the code, Percy Page, his house is in Westmount or something. I was oh man, I want to get his house one, it'd be a cool thing. But they had some jerseys and sweaters that I've never seen before. I took some photos of those and I sent them to Sean, my business partner, and we're man, there's some button-up warm-ups that were really neat with the Grads logo. Just even some photos of some old school jerseys. There's a part where they were the Canadian champions. You could tie that all in. There's some stuff there that
Big
I
Maple
could
sent
see
a picture.
Yeah, and that one's and I've done those t-shirts and sweatshirts on that one.
Right.
That's pretty common one, but also in the book, the Grads book, there's a lot of cool ones that you could do.
So you got some ideas.
Yeah, there's some ideas coming. There's some cool, even a cardigan, a kind of a button cardigan one, which is sort of what they wore, the coach wore. There's some things there. But,
Interesting.
I mean, anything to tell that story more and get it out there is needed.
They're like an early success story of Edmonton
It's crazy
on the athletic landscape.
Yeah, 8,000 people to watch women's basketball in the 20s is
Incredible.
Yeah.
Baggio texted, says, Tommy, silly observation, but I do like how the blue on the shoulders stop at the shoulder and not rolling over like the other ones. Makes it look different. Squared off shoulders on the third jersey.
Yeah.
Instead of the yoke. And then Bone says, what about going back to home whites for a bit? I know that the league has talked about it a little bit. I don't know if that's going to happen. I think that it makes more sense to wear your white jerseys at home because you get to see the colors of the visiting team.
I always thought so. I don't know if they go back to it. I love knowing the process. Like these are all fanatics. Like they build it. Do they come up with the different mock-ups and then they go to the teams to look at them and they choose them? Or is it the other way around?
I think there's like
they go, here's what we want to do.
Yeah.
What do you think? I think it's probably more led by like fanatics in their design team coming up with some different things and then they kind of run them by and say, hey, what do you think? Right. So I mean, I'm sure there's like focus groups and they talk to people. I would think when this all happens.
Pretty sure that they do have the focus groups and stuff like that. One more, and then we'll talk about what's going on the ice. The third jersey just doesn't feel like anything original. It's a vintage look, quote unquote. I would rather have something compelling, different, like that McFarland jersey tried to do. Well, there's a story to the McFarland jersey when they released it. It was like the gear had 3 fins for the 3 decades at that time of Oilers hockey, 5 rivets for the Stanley Cups. I think like the oil drop tilted and on its side going forward was like the future, and so there was the story behind it.
Wasn't Todd one of the owners too at the time?
Yeah,
and then like the owners. Spawn comics, he tried to tie in that part with it as well, and that was pretty popular.
Yeah.
Like
it was for a time the best-selling alternate jersey in the NHL.
Oh, really?
So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was different. It was cool, and you're like, oh, that's the Oilers.
I bought one of those last year, but to try to wear it, like the way it's cut is insane.
It's a different time.
It's a different time. Like it's so puffy. The sleeves are short. Like it's almost cropped on it. Every time I try to put it on for a game, I'm like, I'm gonna. This one's coming back today, and I'm like, I look ridiculous. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this.
The replica jerseys back then were still cut as if you were to wear them with shoulder pads and elbow pads. It wasn't like a fan jersey like they do now, where it's made to be worn as
like a fashion statement.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's where that, like even old football jerseys, they're like big and baggy. And like, why is
and
this
they're
hanging
cut
off?
low too.
Totally.
Yeah. Why is this hanging off of me? Like, it's a medium.
Yeah, I used to wear children jerseys when I used to fit into them. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think it's always like I always love the other gear, whether it's like it's jackets or it's t-shirts or it's sweaters, because I think like those just like they just look better.
Yeah.
Every time I throw on like a jersey and I want to go to a game, I'm like, I don't know. And then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna throw like the hoodie underneath, like guys do. I'm like, this looks better. And then I'm like, I'm too hot. Like I don't want to wear this all the time.
Yeah.
Like you know, like
there's such a huge fashion culture now, as you know, out of all people, right? That you don't necessarily need to wear a jersey to a game to represent.
Yeah. I think it's what's great about like you can go to a Flames game and everyone's got their stupid red jersey and that's great. And then as soon as you like you get a job in Calgary, the first thing you do is like, here's your white Cowboy and here's your red Flames jersey. And it's like, okay, and I have to wear this.
No, see,
and it's like, and I get it, and I respect that.
Sure.
I respect that part of it. They've got traditions and they stick to them.
Yes.
But one of the coolest things about Oilers games is like seeing all like the vintage random Oilers gear that people wear. And I feel like that was just kind of a little thing. And now like this last season, I'm like, holy shit, like everybody's doing this.
Yeah.
Everybody's trying to find these items and then they're getting them like tailored to like fit.
Yes.
You know, like I think that's legit. That's cool. That's like real fan culture that we're trying to bring back. And that's where they've got an opportunity, I think, in the Oilers, whether it's their authentic store or whatever, to dive into that kind of stuff.
yes,
Right?
lead the well, Alice Moran, remember when she was on that hangout? What did she do with her jersey?
She made it into a dress.
Yeah.
And I guess she's really good at sewing and stitching, that she made it so fitted and looked really sexy on her. And I was like, man, you need to sell this. Like women will buy this product.
And I think she like bedazzled the logo.
Yeah,
Nice.
she bedazzled it. She took hours to do that. It was cool.
She's getting, like,
And the
carbon
next
fiber.
thing they should do is the shoes. Like they've released a couple different like Oilers shoe versions. They're supposedly like $400, and they're nasty.
Yeah.
Anyways, but like if you could do like some custom dunks or Jordan lows or something that are Oilers edition, like I've got a pair that I wear and everyone's like, well, where'd you get those Oilers? I'm like, I think they're actually like Knicks colors. But it kind of
exactly.
works.
Yeah.
But like I would be pumping those, you know, the sneaker game that ties into the Oilers gear, right?
Reed is so right. I'm so confused as to how like this is not done by Nike or Jordan or whatnot, because I'm in the same boat as you. Is like, yeah, they're technically Knicks shoes, right?
It's the same colors.
Yeah, that's right. But if the Oilers like got into that market, and everybody's a sneakerhead now, right?
Yeah.
So this would be perfect.
Yeah. I've seen Adidas golf shoes, like the 99 when Wayne was affiliated with Adidas. But, and I've had other buddies, my buddy Rick from the Pint, he's got like Oilers shoes. I'm like, where did you get those? I had them custom made.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
On this website.
Yeah.
I do the design and they just print it or sublimate it into the fabric. And I'm like, oh, okay, but this isn't commercially available.
Yeah.
So
I think there was a pair, and correct me if I'm wrong. It was maybe a couple years ago that that was on the site, on the OEG site, but they were like 700. Like they were very expensive. They were gorgeous.
I think I remember that.
And they weren't nice enough for that. Like that's the issue, right?
Exactly.
Like we did, even the Stingers, we did a Converse kind of collab, and they like painted these on with like the beehive stuff. It was cool. And then we did one with Vans too, and you can like custom pick the colors and put them on. Like it's not hard to do, but that was, once you had those, it was like, this is next level gear. Like now you're rolling up with the kicks, you got the other vintage gear, and then everyone's like, man, where'd you get that? What's going on?
Yeah.
Right?
I kind of appreciate, like, obviously when I make my walk to the arena, you see thousands of jerseys, and that's cool, and that's people showing their pride for the team. But I do like when I see the bomber jackets or something else, or the shoes, or a cool hat. I'm like, you know what? That, like, you're still personalizing your style, showing your fandom, but you're doing it in a way where it's not just a jersey. Nothing wrong with the jersey, but you're taking it to another level.
And everybody wants to be unique now, Tommy, right?
That part of it too.
You stick out.
Snowflakes.
To me now.
Snowflakes out there. Yeah.
Everyone's
snowflake.
unique, not soft.
Exactly. But they want to show their own style, right?
Yeah.
And that's cool.
Exactly. Okay. Tom Gazzola, Jasmine Sidhu, Reed Clarke here on the EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage. Of course, you can text us 780-218-9999. Get to the nasty chat as well. Big thank you to everybody for the birthday wishes. Yes, we're celebrating. Big thank you to everybody here. My mom sent all this stuff in, and we're going to enjoy it right after the show. That's for sure.
What are you doing tonight? What's your plans?
I don't know. I watch the game somewhere. We'll figure something out. Maybe go to the ice house because it's right by my place. So,
but you're not doing like a big 40th birthday bash?
No, I had
begged him.
zero intention
I
of this.
begged him, and then at the Estes, I tried to talk to his mom, and she was down, but she's going to Europe because I was like, "It's not about Tommy; it's about us celebrating." And she's like, "I know."
Yeah,
I know,
it is more about everybody else. It's like a wedding. It's about everybody else.
Yeah, it is just selfish of you that you didn't want to throw a big 40th.
But I kind of went
so
through this with
sorry.
my buddies, and like, even I've got a twin sister who turned 40. I'm like, and our birthday is always right around Labor Day, right?
Yep.
So we always like, it was a good time to have a party.
Absolutely.
Right. And I was like, well, 40, we got to do something. Like, we got to do something for sure. It's a big deal.
Right.
And then some are like, I don't know, let's just let it pass and move
That's
on.
how I feel.
And then other people are like, no, let's go. So for our 40th, a bunch of people turned 40 at the same time. So we went to San Fran and went to a Giants game.
That's
That's
awesome.
great.
Which was great, right?
Yeah.
It was an excuse to do it and get together and have a great time. And enjoy it. And that's how I look at birthdays. It's just an excuse to get people together. Because like,
I like that.
you don't see, especially the older you get, Tom, you don't see everyone. They got kids, they got jobs.
Exactly.
I mean, you don't see them all the time. So you need to give people reasons to get together. And if a birthday is one of those reasons, so be it.
That's beautiful. And I respect that very much.
Calvin in the nasty chat. Birthdays are like funerals. They are not about you.
Well said.
Wow, Calvin.
Well
But
said.
it's true. Like I'm
profound.
I used to get sad back in the day in my 20s. I'm like, I'm getting older. But like now that I'm older, I'm like, wow, like you really need to appreciate your birthday because you're only going to get so many of them,
Yeah, that's true.
Right. Right.
yeah.
Yeah. Literally, when you really do
Harsh.
deeper
That's-
dive,
that's deep, yeah.
Make memories that day. Like think about it from 10 years from now. You're like, oh, my 40th birthday was this or that. And like you just shared a story. Like I went to the Giants game. Like these are things that you need to like put in your mind and your experiences for it rather than being like, wah. Be grateful your age.
And if you tell me I'm having a
grateful.
40th birthday, like they're gonna come. Like people don't blow that off, right?
that's a
You
good
give them
point.
enough heads up and be like, you're like, I gotta go.
That is true. I've had some good ones at the Directors Club with Murray McCourt. He's invited me, but now it's like I kind of have to work those games, so it doesn't really happen.
You're like your mom's not in town.
What?
Party.
She texted me this morning.
It's a tough life.
Yeah.
It's a tough gig, dude.
It's fun. I love it.
it's
Yeah,
fun.
she texted me this morning. So thank you to my mom. Thank you to everybody. Thank you to the Italian Center. Well, she knows what my favorite
Yeah,
is. So.
what a hookup.
Yeah, exactly. The Spinellis.
But you also had a great birthday on, like, shout out to your family. They got you PS5 and everything on,
Yeah,
on
they
Sunday.
tricked
yeah,
me.
because you were telling me about you were wanting to buy one last week.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've wanted to get a PS5 for like actively for like a year or two. I just haven't done it. And my brother's like, shut up, go and get one. Like, how old are you? You're a man. Go buy things, man. And I'm like, yeah, but not right now. My PS4 is still working fine. The PS4 started beeping at me, so it's on the fritz a little bit. And yeah, I was like, okay, I'll go buy one. I found a deal at Costco, like a good bundle, because they have good bundles there. And my brother's like, you might want to wait. Like, there's a sale happening at a different place the week after your birthday.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'll just wait for that sale. Yeah. And so I took my brother out for lunch in Calgary, and I'm like, so are you sure that this sale's happening? Because I can just go to Costco and pick this thing up today.
Yeah.
And he goes, just wait, seriously. It's a bet you're going to save a bunch of money. It's going to be worth it. You don't need the extra stuff that comes with that bundle. I'm like, all right, I'll just wait till next week. And then that day, we went out for dinner, and my parents and my other brother show up, and they're like, happy birthday. PS5. I'm like, you buggers. Like, well done.
There you go.
You sucked me in. You had me convinced.
Hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah,
There you go.
So
And they took you to different places out in Edmonton as well, right? Your favorite.
Well, I kind of picked where we went.
Well, it's your birthday. You should. Yeah.
There you go.
We went Bianco. We went to Bar Henry.
Nice.
For one, I wanted to show my parents Bar Henry.
High-end stuff.
My mom loved it. Yeah, Bianco was a great vibe. I love it there.
Yeah.
We're lucky. We have a lot of good Italian places here. And it's close to my place. Then on my way back, I went to, do you know Scotty Dodds from Honey Honey, documentary producer? He was sitting outside of Honey Honey. He's like, Tommy. And I'm like, it's my birthday. He's like, come in.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so we had a quick shot, and then we went back to my place.
Good.
And it was good. It was really good. It's
That's
been a great
good
birthday.
crawl. That's a good crawl.
I felt bad because my dad, I think he needs a hip replacement, and he's like, I just don't want to walk that much. I'm like, I know, you'll be okay.
Yeah.
Get him on a scooter, maybe.
Yeah. Get him like one of those. Yeah.
or get a lime one, just push it around.
Yeah, I'll piggyback you. Hop on.
I will say next bar, the Americano there, that drink is deadly.
I have not had
It's
that.
kind of like a Negroni, but a little different.
We
but
went with the Negronis.
it's
I was
nice.
having a bunch
It's
of
really
Negronis
nice.
that night.
Any one of his spots, you can get that.
Yeah.
Off menu style. Yeah.
So the Americano drink. Okay.
Not coffee, just drink.
Okay. I'll remember that because see, you know the little.
Yeah.
You both know the little intricacies and secrets around the city, which is good. Should we talk about the Oilers really quickly? They do play in Winnipeg tonight.
Go ahead.
Anything that we're watching for? Any storylines catch your attention?
Taves in a jersey will be interesting to see, right?
Yeah.
Right? Taves in a jersey.
Taves, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the interesting thing for the Oilers is going to be how they start the season, right? Like it's been how many years in a row? At least 2 pretty slow starts.
Yes.
Trying to play catch up, getting there, and then how much does that take on the wear and tear and mental kind of the team to get there? So when they get to the playoffs, then the grind just keeps going.
Yeah.
Right. And for me, it'll be how they get off to a start. Can they, they should obviously be a great team again and be leading the Pacific. Right. So, that kind of mindset. And I think they've tried to change things leading up to the season, maybe less days, more, they've tried to kind of figure out what is the balance that makes the most sense.
True.
And now these guys have enough experience being in the league to know their own, routine and bodies and training and everything.
You would think. Hopefully
right?
they do.
So,
yeah.
How's that working? And how's some of the new additions play in there? I mean, I think with any kind of legacy team, when you've gone to finals, whether it's hockey or basketball or anything, like there's always going to be people talk about, you want to keep that same team together. And that's great. And if you can do that in Florida, and it's fine.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
But so many other teams that are legacy and gone to the point, they change out a lot of the role players all the time, right?
Yes.
I mean, I hate going back to basketball reference, but look at Jordan's teams from his first three-peat to the second three-peat. Those guys, there's no John Paxson, right? Around Weddington, it's all kind of switched,
Yeah.
right?
Rodman came in the second.
Rodman came
run.
in the
Yeah.
second part. It was
Yeah.
always Scotty and Michael, right?
Yep.
So if you want to use that analogy for Connor and Leon, I think it's okay. So people kind of have to get their minds wrapped around that idea, but we'll see how they start because I don't want you sitting there again like you always do and calling them out of the
November
the
9th?
Yeah.
I remember that.
I don't want you to be in that spot again. As good as it is for shows,
It's fun,
I
yeah.
don't want you to be in those spots again. And I've been in those where everyone's just like, "Oh, I can't believe it. This team's not going to do it. Not going to make
Yeah.
it back." And so many things to get back to where you were the last 2 seasons. So many things have to go right.
True.
And that's the part that worries me about the Oilers, right? it's injuries, it's luck, it's hockey's. I mean,
So many things have to go your way.
it's kind of a crazy game. Like, you're right.
Yes.
You outwork the guy for a bit, you do well. They outwork you, they do well. It's sort of how the ebb and flow of a game goes. And there's a lot of chance. There's a lot of puck luck, a lot of chance it comes into these things, right? So
Very true.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Jazzy, are you nervous? I like what Reed's saying about the start. That would be nice if it gave Oilers fans a bit of a stress relief, because they have been pretty worried after the first couple of months.
Because there's a bigger part. To it. And I almost want to go. Is it an ownership or a stake or a career afterwards? Or is there something?
The stream. Something's wrong with the stream.
Is it? We'll get Maddie on that. But continue, because we're probably still live.
Is that negotiating on the details? Like, if anybody has that leverage and can do it, it's McDavid, right? Mm-hmm. So is that what's taking time to iron this out, right? Like, is there a play where he's trying to, almost like an Ohtani thing where it's trying to get, low and then go up for 10 years, and then he gets a stake in there? And I don't believe, like what Maddie said, like, Cates is not trying to sell a team. He's trying to give it to his kids. Like, I don't, maybe they want to sell it, or they want to bring in a minority partner or something. Like, maybe there is a play there.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's going away. And you'd think maybe in the regular, like, conversation about the contract, we could do this. But maybe, he's kind of bright enough to be like, I see where this franchise is going, how valuable it is. And I'm a generational talent. And to get whatever, the money in the NHL is fine.
Yes.
But to get that next level, like, I want to cut. And it's working out those details. It takes time. And I don't know. This is just me. Like,
that's valid thought, because, like, yes, he's going to, in his career, make a couple $100 million. Amazing, right? Mm-hmm. But when you talk about that kind of wealth, there's an opportunity to go from being a guy who made a couple $100 million playing hockey to being like, maybe I'm talking about $500 million in the bank account. And then you're not just, legendary hockey player. You're a business person with, like, this generational wealth. That's where we're at in sport. Like, Tiger Woods is a billionaire. LeBron's a billionaire.
Yeah.
This is what it has become, where it's like, I made a lot of money playing hockey and I'm just kind of riding it out for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I can actively turn this into something. And I feel like some of these guys that have this ability or special players and have this opportunity do think about that. So, or you know what could be happening too? They could be working on it and just saying, like, Connor's being ambiguous, and then before the start of the year, like, hey, we got it done.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not just an athlete anymore. They're a business.
Seriously.
Right? They're setting themselves up for this is a new thing in the past, 10 years, that athletes are now getting more involved in their own finances and such, right?
Yeah.
Making their brand, their name an actual brand than just a hockey player, for example.
Well, it'd be interesting if that has anything to do with this or not, or that has come up in the conversations. I don't know how, like, if you want me to take my best years and be here long term, I would imagine the conversation would be like, well, I want some equity, whatever that looks like.
Right.
Whatever that looks like, however we kind of
that.
structure it. How do we do that so I have a future beyond this? And if you want me to, like, I'll commit to the organization, but I'd really like to seriously commit to the organization in bigger sense. And maybe that, like, was just, there's no way. And Daryl doesn't want to do that at all.
I don't know
but
why
if he's
you would
open the
want to.
conversation, right?
Yeah.
That would be the guy.
That was like Kawhi with Toronto, right? The same thing when he wanted, his uncle, who was his agent, wanted
Dennis,
a little, dabble of
little piece of the
the
pie.
Leafs, right? Yeah.
But the difference, so the idea is the same, right? Potentially, hypothetically, a piece of the pie, equity in the franchise and organization. Where it's different with Kawhi, we're using this as an example, is Kawhi had 1 year in Toronto. Okay. And then he's asking for that much, that significant amount and piece of the pie. Literally build this franchise to where it's at now, worth over $2 billion apparently. And you have the hub, which is the Ice District. If you want to, that's a different type of relationship than a guy that came in for 1 year, won a championship, and now wants the world.
Yeah.
So there might be some element to that.
Maybe.
I
didn't really think about it until I heard you guys kind of bring it up the other day, but that would make a lot of sense, in my opinion.
Yeah.
whatever that looks like. Maybe it's.
But I wonder in the CBA, like, is that allowed? Or does it have to be like, hey, stick around. We're going to pay you what you want or deserve, but we want you here. We want you and your family to make this your home.
Yeah.
We want you around not just for the next 10 years of your career. We want you to be in orange and blue for your life for as long as you want to be here.
Yeah.
You know, and we will show that by giving you an actual portion.
You imagine
of
how
this.
much that would shut up everybody who's just had all the comments and he's going and just want to be like,
people love that.
You come
yeah.
with something like that at a press conference and he's involved with it and basically here for life in some capacity. Like, this is why it took so long, guys. There's a lot of details we got to figure out here. You know, I'm sure if it is in the CBA, there's ways they don't want to, especially the players, they don't want to hinder athletes an opportunity to extend their career and make money outside. Like they can't really do that, I would think, right?
I don't think so. I mean, guys do business deals all the time. It has to
have
be
some relation to
yeah.
like the league and the team all the time, where they're investing in a drink or apparel or
like when you're
real estate, whatever it is, right?
They just relaxed the rules on beer sponsorships with players. That was part
did
of the
they?
CBA.
I didn't know.
Yeah, that was a small little.
So they can do their own.
What do you mean by
Well,
that?
I think there was like the PAs involved. I think with Weisers or Gibsons or Canadian Club or something like that. But that's the PA. Those are retired guys, right? And you see the retired guys, alumni in commercial and stuff like that. But like for active players, there was a stipulation or there's some kind of parameter in the CBA that said we want you to avoid alcohol sponsorship. And I'm paraphrasing.
Wow.
I didn't read the fine print of this rule, but it was pointed out that there have been amendments to the new CBA where it's like you can be a promoter of beer. You know, like
Ovechkin needs to get paid.
right, like yeah, exactly.
Well, I know it's always tough, right? Like if you talk about like the big sponsors for the Oilers or other teams, and they're paying a lot of money on a yearly basis, right? So, you know, let's say you're the Ford or whoever it is. How do you get? And you're like, well, I want to be a sponsor because I want McDavid, I want Draisaitl, that one, whoever else. And like, well, you get the team sponsor, but these guys are going to go along with the team sponsorship, or they want to do their own deals with their own company, right?
Yeah.
And I know that's always been a little bit of a fine kind of line to balance because it's like, well, but I would like, yeah, I want to sponsor the Oilers and cool, but I also want to be like
my own entity.
Yeah, and then as when you sponsor a team, put that kind of cash, you also want access to those players to be a part of it, and they've got their own deals.
Yeah,
it goes. Yeah,
that's a fair point.
Happens all the time.
All right, this is the EST Hangout. Tom Gazzola, Jasmine Sidhu, Reed Clarke with you. We've got about 10 minutes left. We'll get to Over Under, brought to you by Play Alberta. We'll do something fun with Over Under.
Yeah, sorry.
Let's look at like tonight. Let's just go look at total goals in this Oilers Jets game. I'll put it at 6.5. What do you got? I mean, it's going to be sloppy hockey.
Over.
Take the over. A lot of goal scoring tonight.
Yeah.
I'll go under just to say it. Man. It's
Another boring game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be. Yeah. I'll go under. Sure. Why not?
Okay. Well, Jazzy, what about you?
Yeah, over. Over the 6.5.
I'll go over.
Yeah.
I think we'll get like 8 goals.
I'll go with the under.
Some ugly ones. And then, okay, here's another bonus over under because this is the last year of 8 preseason games where you're allowed to have 8 preseason games. They're going to minimize it. Over under 4.5 for what is ideal for preseason games in the NHL.
Under.
Under? How many?
I'd say 5 in that sense.
That's over then because I put it at
So you said
4.5.
4.5?
Yeah.
Which is technically 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
okay, so over. Oh yeah,
You want
you're
over,
right.
okay.
Over. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm going to say I think they'll go under. I would love to see over because for me, like the exhibition in the preseason games, I mean, I don't even think they should be played really in Edmonton. You should be taking advantage of those games and going around to oil country and other places to kind of showcase your team to new fans, to generate more revenue. Like, and I don't think the league determines, like, I think the team determines who they want to play, when they want to play,
yeah,
whatever
you
the
negotiate
preseason.
that.
Like any all professional leagues with their exhibition, you negotiate that.
Yep.
And I think leagues are always missing the boat on that. I'm like, why would you not go somewhere where you could work out a good deal with the arena, get the revenue, do a game, cool. Whether it's in Red Deer or it's Kelowna or you go in the States, I don't know.
Yeah.
But try to expand your market a little bit
Yep.
and do that. And I think it's always just like, it's on the side of someone's desk, like, but that's a lot of work. We got to do that. And the guys are here and the logistics, whatever. But I think it's such a big opportunity. And it's kind of like, it's the long game on that side. But it kills me when teams like, I'll just do it here. And he said, there's 8,000 people who came to the game. And I'm like, what a waste. What a missed opportunity.
Great point. We have seen instances of that. The Avs and the Mammoth played at Denver University the other day. So that has happened. The Oilers have gone to Saskatoon.
Yeah.
They played one in Oklahoma City when the Barons were the farm team. But there was always like a stipulation, a certain amount had to be paid to the teams for them to show up and be there.
It's got to make sense.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So it can happen. It does happen, but it really depends on if you think you'd be more profitable at Rogers Place as opposed to.
And I think that's how I look. And it's just like a lot of times like it's not worth the headache on it.
Unfortunately.
Which is a gripe I have with the NHL in general. Like there should be a summer league version, or they didn't do the thing in Penticton this year. Like that kind of stuff to me is how you keep the attention of everyone going on. I get there's summer vacation, people don't want to do it.
Yeah.
But you've got to do those things and get it where it becomes something that people want to go to.
I agree.
Right?
Jazzy would go if it was done in Kelowna. She'd be like, I want that assignment, please.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okanagan, why not?
Yeah. Okay, we've got 5 minutes left. Reed, you're running for council. How has that been? Give us the details.
It's been crazy. So I'm running for city council in Ward Nakota-Iska, which is right where the studio is, which is good. Goes all the way from Grote Road, 231st Street, White Mud, all the way out to like Big Lake and Trumpeter, past the Henday, touching St. Albert. So it's a big area. It's been crazy. A lot of door knocking. I think we're about 20,000 doors. Jeez. I probably thought there was a better way to get your message out to communicate to people, but still going door to door is the best way to do it because it's that personal connection. Talk to one person, they talk to their neighbors, the community, it gets around. It's been fun. It's been a little crazy because it's kind of nonstop. Open up a campaign office, got a team helping me out. But it's been cool. And I guess in general, I can say most Edmontonians are not asking for a ton. They really want, basic things done from their city, done better, listened to, all those things, which I think are all fair things that we can give. And for me, never being in politics and getting into this, I think I kind of bring that, sort of different mindset, collaboration, business experience, community experience, sports experience. It'd be great to have kind of a sports voice on the city because as you guys know, Edmonton is sports and sports is Edmonton. It's from kids playing to seniors to pros, whatever. So I would like to bring that to the city if I can.
Have you had a crazy experience by knocking doors and meeting people?
Yeah, I mean, one guy brought me in and then locked the door right away, and then told me to sit at the kitchen table because he wanted to go on about some conspiracy theory stuff that was a little wild.
Yeah.
And then I think I texted my campaign manager. I'm like, hey, like if I'm not out here in 15 minutes, like come looking
Please
for
come
me
get me.
because I don't know where this is going.
Yeah.
But he was passionate about it and had some thoughts. And that was great. I just think it was probably a little too diabolical of a scheme to be true. But that's okay. Everyone's entitled. Everyone's entitled to their own opinions on it, and it was passion. So that was a bit weird. But most of the time, people are they're pretty great, right?
I like that's
Edmontonians are welcoming, and they crazy is like a lot of people love their community and they've lived there for a long time. I underestimated that. People are like, I've been here for 30 years, all over. Doesn't matter what neighborhood we're talking about. Right. So I think that's kind of cool.
Neat. Jazzy, what do you got? We've got 2 minutes here.
Tomorrow, I'm on again with Tom and Belzy. We're going to talk some NFL tomorrow. I got some topics that we're going to roll over tomorrow. Reed is a lovely guest today. Tommy, just want to wish you again on air. Happy 40th birthday.
Thank
you
for all
have
this
meant
stuff.
so much love in the nasty chat, so much love in the text messages, wishing Tom a birthday. So let's give him some,
round of clicks. Thank you. It's all the nasties. That was very nice.
Yes, you're very
I like to see how you've grown with this, Tom, because I've known you for a while, and like you're I mean, just like how much of a pro you are now at this, working on your game, the craft. This is not easy, but it's been cool to see your progression in your career move forward. So kudos to you.
Thank you, Reed. I appreciate it. Thank you for coming in. Best of luck because the election's coming up. Thanks for the time. Thanks for sharing the gift.
Yeah,
And then we're looking forward to seeing your next collaborations, with the Oilers and what you guys do at City of Champs. That's going to be great. Very passionate about the city, Reed Clarke. And then Jazzy, we get you tomorrow. We'll talk NFL.
Yes.
Lots of fun. Thanks for working with my mom on this, evidently.
Yeah, she's the
Unbelievable.
best. Yeah,
Unbelievable. That's going to do it for another edition of the EST Hangout presented by Sentinel Storage. For Reed Clarke and Jasmine Sidhu, I'm Tom Gazzola saying thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Coming up next, it is The Lock Shop. We'll see you tomorrow.
Let's go.
There you go, right in front of the camera.
First-time guest, long-time listener, fan of the original draft commissioner.
Welcome to the EST Hangout presented by White Claw Hard Seltzer. The difference